So let's take a look at the next song here. This is also a traditional Hanukkah song, or melody at least. So it's a two-pager, and the first thing we want to do is to analyze the structure, the form of it, because this will simplify it a lot for us. Okay? So let's take a look at this, and we're just going to divide it into sections. So let's call this first part, the first 4 bars, section A1. And now what I want to do is I want to find all the other parts in the music that are exactly identical. So I'll go through and I'll look for the same theme again. And it happens again right over here. On the second page, bar 33 is also A1, and it's identical. Then it happens one more time on bar 41, except now it's up 1 octave. That's the one difference there. It's up 1 octave. Okay? So that's one section. Let's find another section here. So let's take a look at this here. The next 4 bars, we'll call this A2, because it's really the consequence of the A1 antecedent phrase. And that happens again at the very end. A2. We also get a variation of this theme on bar 37. It's a bit different here, so we'll call it A2B or something like that. Really doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it whatever you want. That's arbitrary. We're just looking at sections so we can kind of understand their similarities and relationships with one another. Next, we have the next section here, these next 4 bars. We'll call this B1. And then this idea almost repeats itself. It's slightly different, so we'll just call it B1A. I don't know. Slightly different. The only difference is the very last 2 bars. I mean the last bar, not the last 2 bars. And then let's take a look at another section here. Here, we'll call this B2. And B2 repeats itself exactly here. Like that. And then we have one more idea, which is right here. Okay, and we'll call this, I'm running out of colors here, C1. And then we have a transitory phrase over here, which is kind of like our bridge. So I'll just call it the bridge. So now we've broken up the piece into individual parts. So now you can see you're really dealing with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections in total. Okay? So that's all we have to learn. So let's learn each of these. We'll just break each one down. So again, let's determine our key signature. We are in the key of F major. We know this because of the 1 flat. So let's learn how to play the left hand. Okay, there's a B flat, so we can write a cautionary accidental. We start from an F and we go down to a G. If you want to write that, you can. And of course, this is just a descending scale, right? So that means we just have to figure out the fingering. Now it's an F major. We'll use F major fingering, which you have not learned, but so I'll tell you. You're going to end up with second finger here on the B flat, means third finger will be here, fourth finger will be on the G. And if we go backwards from that point, that means your thumb is going to be on this C. Okay, you'll have to shift your thumb here. Which means you'll just have 1, 2, 3 like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that together. Starting on F3 with your thumb, and we're just doing a descending F major scale. Here we go. Ready and play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, shift. 3, now B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple. You can pause the video, do it a few times, just to ingrain that. Okay. So we got that. Now, let's learn the right hand here. So, to do this, we need to determine a suitable fingering. We have B flats, so I could write in the B flats as a cautionary accidental. That way I don't accidentally forget about it. I'm going to start with fingers 1, 3, then 4, then 1, 5, then 1, 5 again, then 1, 3, 4, and 1, 5. Now this is a little trickier because, obviously, you're playing oftentimes 2 notes at a time. So we need to practice this in such a way that we can learn it quickly. Let me show you how to break this down. We're just going to do the last 3 chords here. So you can start on 1, 3 on the notes D and G, D, G. Then you're going to go to an A with 4th finger, and then to D, B flat with 1, 5. Like that. So it's already kind of in position. Let's try it together. So D, G, 1, 3. Here we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's how you play that part. We can go back and add the previous bar. This previous bar starts on F position, F and C, like this. F and C, then your thumb is going to go down to E, E, C. So it's F, C, and then E, C. Then you go down to D, G, 1, 3. So that's a little bit of a tricky transition. So let's just try those 3 chords. Starting from F, C, here we go. F, C, then E, C, then D, G. Once again. F, C, then E, C, then D, G. And then last but not least, let's take a look at the first 3 chords here. So it starts thumb on F, F position, so you have 1, 3. Then you go to B flat, and then you go to F, C. So the beginning's pretty easy. Let's try that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Like that. And then we can put the whole right hand together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, E, C, down to D, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just work hands alone. Get that comfortable first. Don't even bother to put hands together so soon. Just hands alone. All right. So now let's take a look at A2, since that's one of our sections. And again, we'll start with the left hand. Okay. In this case, it makes sense to start with 3rd finger on the C natural, which allows our 2nd finger to play C sharp, our thumb to play D, and our fifth finger to play G or fourth. If you use fourth finger, you'll kind of be set up for the next note. And then to your thumb on C, and then fifth finger on F. So let's try this slowly. Third finger on C. Here we go. Ready? And C, then C sharp, D, down to G, then C, C again, and down to F. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to pause the video, rewind it, and just get that left hand nice and comfortable. Once you're comfortable with that, we can proceed to the right hand here on A2. Again, I'm just going to write in my cautionary accidentals, which is a B flat. So I've written the 3 B flats in. Now this part's pretty easy because if we look at it, they're just parallel sixths. All of these are just parallel sixths. Okay? Which means you could literally get away with playing each of them with fingers 1 and 5, or 1 and 4, or a combination. I'm going to just show you how to do it with 1 and 5 the whole time. That way your hand doesn't have to move or change distance. So it starts on C, A, then it goes to B flat G, and down to A, F. So just try the first 3 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that. So we've got a pattern right there. And then the next one's also a pattern. This time it starts on D and B flat, the next 4, and it just walks down. Here we go. 3, 4 down to C, A, down to B flat G, and down to A, F. So just get comfortable with those 2 patterns. C, A, B flat G, A, F, and then D, C, B flat, A, like that. And then, of course, you can put that together in time. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple. Let's do another section together here. So now look what you've learned. If we highlight what you've learned already, we've now done this, and by association, that means we've already also done this. See that? So you've already knocked out like a third of the piece, hands alone. So let's do one more section together today. So B1. Notice the hands are kind of in unison to a degree. Let's do the left hand. So the left hand, we'll start with fingers number 1, 4, 1, 5, okay, and then takes you to 4, and then you can shift to either 2 or 1, and then 5, 2 or 1 for that C. F, C, F, B flat, C, C, F, C. Let's try this with the left hand. Here we go. F, down to C, back to F, B flat, then C, C again, F, and back to F, C. Just like that. Okay. Pretty easy, but again, put in some repetitions to get comfortable with that before you move on. With the right hand, let's do the finger for the right hand here. We'll start with third finger, then first finger, then third finger, and then you get another series of parallel sixths. which also, of course, has the B flat. So I'll just use figures 1, 5 all the way down. I'm going to write my other B flat. So it's the same thing again. Let's try doing this. Starting third finger in F. F, down to C, back to F. Then you have D, B flat, down to C, A, B flat, G, A, F. That's how that goes. And once you're comfortable with that, look how much of the music you've now covered. It means you've done that. It means you've done this. Okay? Look at that. So that's what we'll cover in this video. It's just hands alone for those sections. Get very comfortable with those first before you attempt to put them together. In the next video, we'll cover the rest of the piece.